Sa pagtanom ko sang mais, mga 30 anyos nga tanom ko sang mais, puro lang pirmi ulod. Subong lang kang ay maulod ang mais ko.
Talaga ti problema ngamin ti mais iti second crop. Aji corn borer no tumama ti corn borer wala adda ti padanom mo, wala adda ti pagabunom, uray adda ti makina nga datta. Ngam no talaga nga tamaan iti corn borer, talaga makulaps da di mais. Imbis nga dumakkel bumaba, bumasit ta kamin kanan ti mais. So nga ingana mataya di nga mais kang kanan tiggis.
Iti no madanon ti panagmumula ti mais iti imulmulami. Ngam iti problema iti mulmulami nga mais puro at igisan. Tapos no daduma di nakapoy iti panagbunga nata di panagigas na di mais.
Since I was a small boy, nung maliit pa ako, tatay ko nagtatanim na ng corn. Pag ito naman ang harvest ng farmer, talagang luging-lugi. Dahil yung recovery niya, milling recovery, maliit na, plus may damage pa ng corn borer. Diyan, makikita natin yung damage ng corn borer ito, no? Sa spraying, grabe kami talaga. Tinatamaan kami ng spray.
Next to rice. Corn is the second most important crop in the Philippines. About 12 million Filipinos prefer white corn as their main staple food, while yellow corn accounts for about 70% of livestock mixed feeds. Close to 600,000 farm households depend on corn as a major source of livelihood. In addition to transport services, traders, and farm input suppliers who directly benefit from corn. The Philippines, however, is still far from being self-sufficient in corn production. A major culprit is the Asian corn borer.
The ACB or Asiatic corn borer, scientifically known as the Ostrina fornacalis guinea, has been considered one of the most serious insect pests of corn in the Philippines. It is widely distributed across Southeast Asia, and in the Philippines, you can observe about 30% damage throughout the cropping season. But under high infestation, it has been recorded that 80 to 100% crop loss is caused by this insect pest.
If you look at this stalk, you will see the borer holes here. And if you split the stalk, you will see the tunnels, which was the damage done by the borer larvae. If you look at the corn cobs or corn ears, you will see this damage. This is a clear manifestation of early damage of corn borer larvae infesting the early stage of corn cobs development.
Aside from reducing corn grain quality, the injuries inflicted by the Asian corn borer provide a way for plant disease-causing organisms to enter the corn plant and attack it further. When this happens, fungi that produce harmful toxins may find their way into the corn seeds fed to our livestock and poultry animals. Small as it is, the Asian corn borer ravages through corn, after corn, after corn, making up to 80% of a farmer's harvest go to waste. Farmers have used different methods to effectively control the corn borer problem, but with inherent limitations.
Pag masakit gid ako, sobra isa ka bulan ko sa ospital. Agyan ko sang una sa pag-spray, gabrutod kiyan ko, halos hindi ko katulog, kapamuson ko, kalibanga ko, hasta kalipong ko.
Farmers need alternative technologies that may expand their options, increase yield and income, without compromising sustainable agricultural practices. One of the alternative technologies is BT corn, a corn variety improved through modern biotechnology that can inherently protect itself from corn borers. BT corn was principally developed to resist the European corn borer, a major pest in North America and Europe. Seeing its successful adoption in the developed countries, scientists from both public and private sectors in the Philippines saw the potential of the technology. However, further tests had to be undertaken to study the technology's efficacy under local conditions. BT corn was tested in the Philippines in 1996 through a multi-sectoral collaboration between the University of the Philippines Los Baños Institute of Plant Breeding and Pioneer Seeds.
The Institute of Plant Breeding is the National Center for Plant Improvement in the Philippines. It is also mandated by law to take the leadership role in the development and use of biotechnology, also for crop improvement, to support the breeding of new varieties of various crops, including corn, that Filipino farmers can use. So the Institute of Plant Breeding not only has its own breeding programs for corn, it also works with other partners who develop agricultural technologies.
The National Committee on Biosafety of the Philippines, or the NCBP, approved the first contained greenhouse trial of BT corn. Event MON 810 in August 1996. NCBP regulates research and development of biotechnology in the Philippines.
The committee was involved from the start, from the time that the proponent requested that seeds be imported into the country for purposes of experiment, up to the time that there were multiple releases for field testing. The seeds were tested in the greenhouse, in the laboratory. When that was successful and the proponent submitted another application, this time for limited field testing, which was for one plot of land the size of a basketball court. And we looked at the biosafety issues as well, and before approving that particular proposal.
In 1998, a planned limited field release trial was initiated, collaboratively with the Institute of Plant Breeding and Pioneer Seeds, and the Institute of Plant Breeding and Cargill Seeds, which was later acquired by Monsanto Philippines. Several sectors of society voiced their concerns regarding the technology.
One of the major problems that we really encountered during this, even before the conduct of the multi-location trials, are the anti-GMO groups. In fact, in one instance, we are given almost no chance to give adequate information for these people to understand and to be aware of the impact of modern biotechnology.
We always state our honest view of biotechnology, emphasizing responsibility and product stewardship efforts through rigorous testing and by regulatory safeguards before we commercialize these products. So we provide the media, regulatory agencies, and other key stakeholders the scientific-based and information about the technology.
I think there were certainly some opinions against the technology, but within the academe and within the body of the scientific community in the Philippines, the support had in fact been overwhelming, not just within the University of the Philippines, but also within the organizations like the Academy of Science, National Academy of Science, and also the various professional organizations, scientific organizations in the Philippines.
Public and private organizations participated in the debate in biotechnology.
Because what we wanted to do then was to have a leveling off of the issues. We did invite all the so-called anti-biotech groups, anti-GMO groups, to a lot of meetings, roundtable discussions here and in the other institutions. I think what was key then was to continuously educate everybody through seminars, briefings, and even bringing them to the laboratories of our national institutions like IPB.
The commercialization of BT corn sparked a lot of debate, particularly from people in the environmental arena. So there was a whole lot of questions about the safety, absolute safety of this genetically modified foods. But the Biotechnology Coalition always pushed for the safe and responsible use of biotechnology.
Eventually, Administrative Order Number 8 was signed on April 2002 by the Department of Agriculture.
Administrative Order Number 8 provides that the approval process for propagation of regulated articles is 90 days. The Bureau of Plant Industry, in its first experience in processing a regulated article, application was completed in 90 days. 2 independent bodies reviewed results of risk assessment studies submitted by Monsanto.
The first commercial planting of BT corn in the Philippines was approved in 2002. Farmers began planting as early as January 2003. In May 2003, a hunger strike was held to press for the moratorium on the commercialization of BT corn.
That was an incident that took place here. It did get a lot of media attention. You try to get the emotions to die down and look at everything from an objective, factual basis. Many times decisions are based on emotional or political reasons. I think we have to listen more to the science, objective, factual basis for decisions.
The BT corn story in the Philippines, however, does not end with its commercialization. Farmers see initial constraints.
Pero ginasabat nila kung ang isa ka diferensya sa BT, mahalang ang similya. Kagang BT nga mais, maka-income ka gid ako, kaya nga abono mo lang ang trabaho mo. Tudling. Hindi ka naka-spray, hindi ka nakabakal puradan, hindi ka na kung ano, kundi ang kalaban mo lang damo.
Efforts continue to be done by both public and private sectors to address existing and emerging concerns.
One of the conditions of the biosafety permit for propagation is that the permittee shall submit monitoring reports on the performance of the crop within the monitoring requirements as specified in the permit. Other safety permit conditions are also amply addressed in the Administrative Order Number 8. The applicant was required to submit its insect resistance management program.
ISA continues to work again with both public and private sector organizations in these follow-up socio-economic studies so that we're able to see that really the value of these new technologies go beyond merely agronomic importance, but goes towards improving the quality of life of our people in the rural areas.
My single message is to give biotechnology a try, without, of course, sacrificing biosafety. The two will have to go hand in hand, the biotechnology and biosafety. But the only way we will know if this will be beneficial to us is for us to try it. If we don't try it, if we close our door to the technology, then we might find ourselves later on, without any access to it, and we might not be able to even regulate it properly. If everybody, meaning all the stakeholders, look at biotechnology from a perspective of national interest, I think there will be more meaningful discussions among the stakeholders, because then there will be one common element which will guide the discussion.
To the corn farmers themselves, this is an opportunity for you. It is not the only opportunity, but we are giving you a smorgasbord of opportunities and let you choose which you think is most applicable to yourself in generating better incomes for yourselves based on what markets you are trying to service. This will give you a chance to lower your cost and to improve your productivity, given, if it's BT corn, the Asian corn borer problem in the Philippines.
The BT corn story took 7 long years of rigid scientific evaluation to become the first feed and food GM crop approved for commercial planting in Asia. And the story continues to evolve.